What's going on, YouTube? It's LaQuon, the only LaQuon you ever gonna see in this complexion. Yeah, like that. Had a little something on my mind this morning, so I figured I'd jump on here and talk about it. You know, you might see the little bags under my eyes or whatever like that. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. But you know, the grind is the grind. I want to talk about when pills was being sold in the Bay in basic training. Oh yeah, it happens in basic training too. Drugs is a part of this world. Um, from what I saw with my own eyes, that's all I can tell y'all. Pills was getting put in like laundry detergent boxes and sent in to the soldiers. I'm not using no names. So I will use names, but it's fake names. So don't get me, we ain't doing none of that. But anyway, so I remember towards about like the middle of basic training, everybody's getting comfortable, everybody's, clicking up. You can look in our barracks in the Bay and see like it's a group of people here, 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 here. And yeah, it's somewhat racially divided. It's like we had a group of Puerto Ricans that hardly didn't speak no English. They kind of stuck together. They all went to Lackland Air Force Base together and learned English, so they were pretty tight knit. We had a group of black guys and group of nerds. They was all mixed. We had some LGBT people. They kind of stuck to themselves. Anyway, we had this one guy. I forgot what his name was, but for the sake of the story, we're gonna name him Thomas. And Thomas had a lisp. He talked like this. My last name is Doremus. He would say Doremus. That's not to make fun of people with the lisp or speech impediment, whatever you got going on. It was just very funny the way he looked and he spoke. I didn't think he was going to speak like that at all. I thought he was playing at first. But anyway, yeah, they were getting pills shipped in through laundry detergent. And what the guy that was selling them would do is he would give some people that was interested a pill. And then, in basic training, it's kind of tough on your mind. So a lot of people, they're not strong mentally. They want to do anything that they can to get their mind off of what's going on or catch a buzz or whatever you want to call it. Pills never been my thing besides when I was in the Army and I was hurt. Got hooked on them, made me feel like a pill. And when I say feel like a pill, I mean I felt empty. I felt hollow inside, like I wasn't myself, you know what I mean? But anyway, this one guy, Washington, as I said, it's not the real name, but that's what we're gonna call him. Washington was selling the pills. He gave Thomas a pill, and I guess he traded him like a half a pill for a Snickers or some crazy shit like that. Now, I've been to jail, so I know the little trade. But it was just crazy to me how like serious it was in basic training that folks was trading Snickers for pills, right? Anyway, so he gives him a pill for free. And then I guess the next day he wanted one, but he didn't have any money or anything to trade for the pill. So Thomas asked Washington, "Hey, can I get another one of them pills?" He's like, "Nah, man, you ain't getting nothing for free." You know what I mean? He's like, "If you don't give me nothing, if you don't give me a pill, I'm gonna tell." He kind of talked like Mike Tyson now that I think about it, but he had a lisp. He kind of said his L's and his R's weird. Anyway, this is a grown-ass man talking like a 4-year-old, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not trying to make fun of nobody. I'm just telling a story. So bear with me if you got one of those situations going on. He didn't give him one, so he turned around and told on him. In the United States Army basic training, we do area beautification, aka landscaping. That means they're gonna send a platoon of guys out to go clean up a field. We're gonna go cut some grass, we're gonna pick up trash, we're gonna do all that's what they have us do when there's nothing for us to do. We become general laborers, right? You do all kinds of stuff in the Army, not just your job. Anyway, I remember we're out doing area beautification. You know, I've always been very motivated and driven. So, you know, I'm not really with everybody else. Everybody's kind of bunching up, making time pass, walking around, just shooting you know what I mean? But I'm actually, you know, picking stuff up and pulling weeds and stuff like that. I'm trying to make my time pass, you know what I mean? Anyway, I remember Thomas comes up to me, and me and him really didn't talk like that, but he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Dewemus, they've been selling pills in the Bay. I'm going to tell the dual sergeant. If you got anything in the Bay, you better get rid of it." I was like, "What? They selling pills?" And he's like, I'm acting like I didn't know. "Yeah, they selling pills. And I told the dual sergeant, so if you got anything in the Bay, you better get rid of it right now." I was like, okay. Now, mind you, we outside. You know what I mean? I don't got nothing to get rid of, but now that he done told me that, I'm like, I need to get back inside so I can tidy my stuff up before they start going through stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not hiding nothing, but I just need to make sure my stuff is straight and secured and things like that. I'm like, man, that's fun to hit the fan. You know what I mean? So he walks inside, and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay where you at, right? So he kind of like went against the instructions that we was given. And man, I tell you, about 5 minutes later, drill sergeant came outside. That's how they do. Like sometimes when they're so upset, like I don't know if being a drill sergeant for like a certain amount of time kind of goes to their head, but it gets to a certain point when they're yelling and screaming and they're not making sense. It's just like, oh man, this guy's got some issues, you know? But like I said, when you're in basic training, you learn to deal with these things. I grew up with a mom who used to cuss me out, so it didn't really make me no mind. I'm used to it. As long as you don't spit on my face when you're screaming at me, I'm okay. But anyway, drill sergeant, everybody get inside. You know what I mean? So we all go inside. Toes on the line. You know what I mean? We put we all get around the kill zone. And like I said, it's 60 men in there. Drill sergeant come in there. He said, who wants to tell me what's going on? Nobody raises their hand. You know what I mean? He screams at us for about 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And then he said, I'm going to ask the question again. He said, who knows what's going on right now? And at this point, I feel pressure. You know, they talk about integrity and being honest and professional and things like that, man. So I felt the pressure. Now, I got nothing to do with the situation. But when Thomas came and told me about what was going on, he kind of put me on the spot. You know, he kind of brought me into the situation, right? So at this point, I'm thinking like, I don't know what the drill sergeant knows, but I know what's going on. I'm not a part of it, but I know what's going on because it was brought to me like 5 minutes prior. So who knows what's going on? I raised my hand. Now, all through basic training, I never got in no trouble. I never messed with no females. I never messed with no drugs. I was kind of chunky when I went there. I done lost all that weight. I'm a squared away soldier. You know what I mean? I like to have fun. I would do this trick on people. When we be standing toes on the line, I will put my hand. If y'all know what a camelback is, it's a bag that you wear on your back with water, and you drink water from it. I will undo people's camelbacks without, you know, I was so smooth. I'll be standing next to you. I'll undo your camelback so gently. Drill sergeant come in there and start smoking us. Down! When you jump down, whoosh, all the water all over you. You know what I mean? It was a funny little joke I used to play on people, man. I was slick, you know what I mean? But anyway, he said, who know about this? I raised my hand. Deremus, you? Out of all people? He said, what's going on? I said, Thomas came to me about 5 minutes ago and let me know what's going on. You know what I mean? And told me to get rid of anything if I had anything in the Bay. Because he was finna tell on Washington about what he was doing in the Bay. He's like, man, get back on the line. He like, you ain't a part of this. I was like, hey, you asked if we knew about it. You know what I mean? So, hey, that's what I know. Now, when he brought me into the situation, he put me on the spot, you know what I mean? Because I got integrity. And like I said, I'm not finna get in trouble about what y'all got going on. Y'all can drug test me. I ain't taking no pills. I ain't got nothing shipped in the mail that looks crazy. None of that stuff, you know what I mean? So the Army don't play. They got to sign sworn statements about it. You know what I mean? People finna get kicked out basic training about this. So before we went to the DFAC for dinner, DFAC is dining facility for people who are not tracking what's going on with the United States Army, the lingo, and you know the acronyms. DFAC is a dining facility. That's where we go eat. So before we went to dinner at the DFAC, he pulled 3 or 4 people that was involved in the situation down into the office and had us sign sworn statements. You know what I mean? And he just gave me a paper and told me to write down what happened. And I wrote down exactly what I said. We were doing area beautification. 5 minutes before, you know, all this happened, he came and gave me the warning that he was fixing to tell on Washington. And, you know, that's all I know. So I signed a sworn statement, and when I tell you, man, it got bad after that. They started going through everything that was sent to us was busted open before you got it. Like, because whatever they was doing to send them pills in, they was doing it right because it was getting through. I don't know if it was like resealing boxes or whatever the case may be, but for me, it was just crazy that somebody would think that, you know, trying to sell some pills or make a little bit of money, you know, where are you from? Like, who does this? You putting your career on the line before it even starts. You know what I mean? Crazy. Just crazy. And these are the kind of people that go far in the military, too. You know, a lot of people who are in the military and they got a lot of rank, they're not always good people. You know what I mean? Like, not to say you're a bad person if you do bad things, but yeah, you know, if you were selling narcotics in basic training, you're a bad apple. You know what I mean? If the shoe fits, wear it. You know what I mean? I say that to say this: drugs is a part of this world, and it infects everything. One of the reasons why I started doing these videos is because I will watch videos of these ex-convicts who would get out of prison, and they will be telling stories about, you know, things that happen, you know, and I seen a lot of similarities between them and the military. You know, I never did, well, I have been to jail twice, but I've never done prison time, but I have done military time, and a lot of the stuff that I hear them talking about, it matches up. You know what I mean? From problems to drugs to abuse, mental issues. A lot of that stuff really is similar. You know what I mean? We chose to be in the military. I can't say they chose to be in prison, but they did choose to do the crime if they're guilty. So you kind of chose to go to prison when you did the crime. That's what comes with doing crime. That's why I always thought it was funny how somebody will be in the streets and then I'm that guy, I'm carrying a pistol, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. And then when they go to prison, it's free me. No, you right where you need to be, man. Because that's a part of being a hood dude or a criminal. You got to be ready to go to prison. You got to be ready to go lay it down. You know what I mean? And when you go to prison and you start crying and writing home and now you love your family and you want to see your kids and all this stuff, I call cap. When you was in the streets doing all that extra stuff, you knew what it was coming with. You just wasn't prepared. That's why you went to prison. Real street guys got money for bond that they put away, getting them up out of that jam. You know what I mean? I'm not judging nobody. I'm just stating my opinion and what I've seen with my eyes and my life. You know what I mean? If you're in basic training, man, trying to, you know, do your little thug thizzle, don't do it, man. It's not worth it. Even if you don't get caught, it's not worth it. Because what's going to end up happening is sooner or later, you're going to get in trouble for something you ain't do. But that's the karma for all the stuff that you did do that you didn't get caught for. I appreciate y'all time this morning. Like I said, I just had something on my mind. I figure I expel on the experience. That's something else that you're gonna have to be aware of before you join the, any kind of military. Drugs get everywhere. Drugs go everywhere. There's not a place on this planet that drugs are not, infecting every day. So, when you go to basic training, expect to see these things, and remember, LaQuon told you to stay away from that stuff, man, because you ain't got to get caught with the stuff. Get caught with it in your urine. Go ahead. Get caught with some prescription narcotics in your urine and it wasn't prescribed to you by the military. Go ahead. They're not going to send you right home. You're going to stay there doing slave work for a couple months. The Army don't make it. You're not getting off that easy. Nah, they're going to keep you around mopping floors and sweeping the parking lot outside, moving rocks, turning rocks over for 2 to 3 months before they send you home. You think you living in hell? You have no idea, man. Them drill sergeants swap out too. So they just say, hey, battle. That one right there, yeah, he Mr. Dope Man. He the snowman. He young Jeezy. He wanna be Gucci Man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, them drill sergeants with the shits. They from the streets too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know what's up with you. They gonna make an example out of you. Cause you foolish, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. With that being said, I appreciate y'all time. I appreciate y'all like, comment, subscribing on my channel. Leave a comment. Tell me if there's anything that you want me to expel on, anything you want me to talk about. I've been homeless. I've been in the streets. I've been in jail. I've been in the military. I run my own business now. I got 2 daughters. I'm a single father. It ain't much that I ain't been through. También hablo español. Y si ustedes quieren que hablo unos videos en español, eso es posible. I can do it. You feel me? Just let me know. Shout out to everybody I went to basic training with. Echo 134, always 4. That stuff stays in your mind forever because it's kind of like an institutionalized thing. When I see my drill sergeant in 20 years, oh, my bad. I could call you by your first name now, but mentally I'm like, how's it going, drill sergeant? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still back there because that's the respect that I have for them people and what they taught me. With that being said, I hope y'all have a productive day today. Make it a great day. If you're in control of what you got going on today, know that you're the colonel. If things go good, it's on you. If things go bad, it's on you. With that being said, it's LaQuon, the only LaQuon you ever gonna see in this complexion. Like that.